Welcome back to KO News, the one place where every corner of the fight world collides in one explosive spot. Give this video a like if you're ready for today's revelations, because what we're about to share might make you rethink everything you know about MMA. In this video, we're diving into Ilia Topuria's radical transition, Bryce Mitchell's haunting predicament, Leon Edwards' quest for redemption, and so much more. By the end, you'll see why everyone is calling this the most pivotal moment in combat sports. The rumor mill has been spinning at full speed ever since Ilia El Matador Topuria announced he'd be relinquishing his featherweight belt to move up to lightweight. The big question? Is he marching straight into a fight with the lightweight king, Islam Makhachev? A few weeks ago, some whispered that Islam was actually open to welcoming Ilia with an instant shot at his crown. But according to a recent statement from Islam's camp, the champion's stance is simple: prove yourself first. For Topuria, it's not just a division jump, it's a total rebrand. He's openly declared on social media that El Matador has been retired. The new hashtag, or new era, signals a fresh identity and maybe a new outlook on how he's going to tear through the lightweight competition. With his undefeated record and relentless style, fans are wondering if he'll need more than a single contender fight to make Islam see him as a real threat. So here's where things stand. Topuria is unbooked, likely training under the radar and vowing to storm the lightweight ranks with a new persona. Whether that persona can handle the Sharks at 155 remains to be seen. But one thing's certain, the entire division is now on high alert. But that's just the beginning of all the intrigue. Rarely do we see a fighter come out and publicly ask for prayers because he's being tormented by nightmares. Yet, that's exactly what Bryce "Thug Nasty" Mitchell did this week. Preparing for his upcoming showdown against Gian Silva at UFC 314, Bryce dropped a social media bombshell. Apparently, he felt legions of demons were haunting his dreams. He asked everyone to pray for him, and in his words, the support worked instantly. In an emotional video, he thanked those who stood by him, insisting that the demonic presence faded just as soon as people began praying. He insisted he's not dealing with typical anxiety or mental health issues. He genuinely believes it's a spiritual battle. Interestingly, Shawn Strickland, never one to shy away from controversy, chimed in with a "let's go" comment, backing Bryce. Some fans rolled their eyes, others flooded the feed with supportive messages, while a few labeled him attention-seeking. But Bryce isn't backing down from his claims. He maintains prayer saved him, and he's urging fellow fighters and anyone else never to be ashamed to ask for help from above. Whether you believe him or not, it's certainly sparked endless chatter. Love him or hate him, Bryce Mitchell knows how to keep people talking. Leon Edwards has been a name on everyone's lips these past few years. After a dominant welterweight run, he famously lost his belt to Belal Muhammad in a fight that took place at a bizarre 5 a.m. local time. Leon now believes that the strange timing and an injury held him back from peak performance, leaving him short of victory. He's determined to prove that his setback was a fluke. Facing Shawn Brady at UFC London, Leon sees this as the perfect stepping stone to set up a revenge match with Belal. The UFC apparently planned the London event around him, and he's laser-focused on delivering for his home crowd, this time at a normal hour. But make no mistake, Shawn Brady is no walk in the park. He's a surging contender who once feared losing his perfect record. Now that he's tasted defeat, he claims the pressure's off and he's more dangerous than ever. If Leon comes in, unprepared for Brady's wrestling and grappling, we might see a repeat of the takedown rinse repeat scenario that cost Edwards his belt. Still, Leon insists he's the more seasoned fighter, having battled countless styles over the years. He knows he has to keep the match standing if he wants to maintain an advantage. And if he beats Brady, he wants Belal. No questions asked. But what does Belal have to say about all this? True to form, Belal Muhammad fired off some choice words online, calling Leon a master of excuses. Belal went as far as predicting Brady will submit Leon once the pressure mounts, but that's not the most savage part. Belal also posted a cameo he recorded, mocking Leon's performance and reminding him that losing in front of a hometown crowd isn't something you can just brush off. He even added that if they ever meet again, he's 30% better now. If you think the rivalry between Leon and Belal is cooling off, you're mistaken. That pot is boiling over, and fans are salivating at the possibility of a rematch, especially if Leon gets past Brady. Switching gears to bare-knuckle fighting championship, Jeremy Stephens rattled a few cages by calling out Platinum Mike Perry after his victory over Eddie Alvarez. However, Stephens made one big condition clear. The fight must take place at 170 pounds, and Perry can't balloon past 190 after weigh-ins. Perry, who last tried to make 200, and felt that was tough enough, scoffed at the idea of cutting to welterweight. He claims 185 is more comfortable and more lethal for his style, Putting a heavy cap on rehydration, in his view, simply drains him and might give Stevens an edge he doesn't deserve. Still, their war of words has fans intrigued. On paper, the matchup screams fireworks, especially given both guys' willingness to throw hands in a phone booth. But will the weight demands and rehydration clauses derail what could be a box office scrap? Only time will tell. Islam Makhachev has made it no secret he wants to join the exclusive club of double champs, but there's a catch. He's great friends with Belal Muhammad, and he doesn't want to fight his buddy if Belal remains champion. Renato Moicano thinks Islam is biding his time, waiting to see if Belal loses. If that happens, the path to the welterweight throne is wide open, with zero emotional attachments. Moicano also points out that people continually sleep on Belal. He's proven to be a monster in the cage, systematically breaking down top contenders. If Belal retains his belt, it might throw a wrench in Islam's dream of chasing welterweight gold. Moicano's conclusion: don't be surprised if Islam's next move hinges entirely on Belal's next fight. Before losing to Belal Muhammad, Shawn Brady carried an undefeated record like an anchor, terrified of what defeat might do to his reputation. Once he actually lost, though, he found a strange sense of freedom. He's got nothing left to protect and everything to gain. Brady says that mental switch could make him more dangerous than ever. He's stopped worrying about being perfect and started focusing on performing. For Leon Edwards, that's a potential alarm bell. When a talented grappler fights without fear, it usually translates to relentless takedown attempts, ruthless ground control, and unstoppable transitions. Fans are eager to see if this new, unburdened Brady can live up to his own hype at UFC London. For Brady, a victory opens the door to a possible title shot and all the bragging rights that come with stopping a major star in his hometown. If anyone can weigh in on Leon's weaknesses, it's Kamaru Usman. Having faced Leon 3 times and bested him twice, Usman believes Edwards' biggest vulnerability lies in his approach to wrestling defense. If Leon hasn't leveled up from the struggles he had against both Belal and Kamaru, Shawn Brady's top pressure might be too much for him. Usman also acknowledges Leon's skill on the ground. The trouble is, that skill level might not be enough to stop a determined grappler, especially once fatigue sets in. If Brady executes a rinse-and-repeat strategy, it could be a long night for Edwards. On the other hand, if Leon's quietly fixed those holes, we might see him sprawl his way to a decisive victory. Over in the women's ranks, Molly McCann is on a tough run, winning just one of her last 4. She's set to clash with Alexa Tanara at UFC London, but she's approaching the fight with a new mindset, no longer chasing paychecks but proving to herself that she can weather adversity. She's openly acknowledged the mental burden of losing, especially in the age of social media where critics and trolls can strike any time. McCann says she wants her legacy to be about how she handles adversity, not just about the highlight reel finishes or post-fight celebrations. For her, returning to the win column in front of the London crowd would be a defining statement that she can still compete at the highest level. Few fighters have been told, yes, you'll fight Jon Jones more than Tom Aspinall. The UFC higher-ups have apparently reassured him multiple times that the matchup will happen. But as soon as Jon tweeted about needing 6 months of training once the fight is signed, fans started wondering, is Tom Aspinall truly next in line for the greatest heavyweight of all time? Tom is heading into a meeting with the UFC brass next week to figure out if they might have a plan B in case negotiations with Jon go sideways. He's expressed faith in the UFC's word, but the unpredictability of the fight game is always a factor. One moment, you're promised a title shot, the next, you're on a short list with 5 other contenders. Until the official contract is signed, all we can do is speculate. But Aspinall, young, fast, and lethal, could be a genuine threat to the champion. His biggest hurdle right now is just getting Jon to the table on an agreed timeline. Light heavyweight standout Magomed Ankalaev recently lit social media ablaze by hinting he has a confirmed date for his next fight. Notably, he claims this bout isn't going to be 5 rounds, suggesting either a 3-round co-main or a special arrangement. Fans have also noticed his public call-out to Alex, which could mean he's eyeing a showdown with Aleksandar Rakic, or possibly even Alex Pereira if Pereira chooses to dabble at 205 again. Meanwhile, Alex Pereira posted a cryptic photo from a plane, teasing that he's en route to England for UFC London, and telling Ankalaev he's ready. Talk about building suspense. A collision between these 2 heavy hitters would definitely keep the entire MMA community on the edge of their seats. And there you have it. From Ilia Topuria's new identity to Bryce Mitchell's spiritual warfare, from the brewing storm between Leon Edwards and Shawn Brady to the possible championship collisions in both BKFC and the UFC, we're witnessing a tidal wave of change in combat sports. The question is, which of these matchups or storylines has you most fired up? Let us know in the comments below because your perspective shapes the debate here at KO News. Also, if you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. And of course, smash that like button to show your support. We'll keep bringing the most jaw-dropping, conversation-sparking MMA content right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Remember, the fight world never sleeps. Stay tuned, because the next bombshell is always just one knockout away.